I will conclude this set by reading one poem in English and then a second poem, which is the one in your program, which I will read in English and Jeanette will read in Spanish, because after I read this at the Peña a few months ago, Sophia was gracious enough to translate my poem. The first poem, I will only say, I was working in Washington, and this is in the wake of 9/11, and feeling how unpoetic the government side of Washington was, and the barricades, and the reality of post 9/11 Washington, until I had a conversation with a cab driver. I will also remind some of you that we had an arsonist running around this area for a while, and he's mentioned in the poem. April is National Poetry Month. The cab driver is from Sierra Leone. He recoils at the lawyer's voice on the radio defending the serial arsonist. My client only set these fires to relieve stress. We both rue the absurdity, the chasm between words and sober realities, his corner of the world abandoned by Cold War interests, leaving the vultures of chaos free rein with homegrown, Harvard-educated rebels swooping in, while the one remaining superpower has its back turned. Springtime in Washington, dependable as the cherry blossoms, white dogwood in bloom, the latest fashion in barricades. A bagpipe busker in a stand of azalea plants a blush on the Capitol's marble cheek. Grackles forage in the mulch around a bed of purple pansy. Red, white, and blue tulips. A cab driver from Sierra Leone. Poetry is where you find it. And this poem resulted from a trip I made two years ago when I was working for Catholic Relief Services to the city of El Paso. And I dedicate this to all of us who, like the butterflies, would prefer to be able to live in one region. Imagine a wall. Imagine the Texas-Mexico border bisecting a park, expanse of fields and trails and desert pines, soccer pitch on both sides. Zoom out to satellite or helicopter view. Juarez, El Paso, one city or two. Then imagine a 30-foot wall, reinforced concrete with guard towers, where the double high-wire fence now snakes along the I-10, traces what's left of the Rio Grande. Unsightly at best, the last decade's line of demarcation, sufficient to slow the once natural flow of commerce, waves of family ties ebbing back and forth under the bridge. Today, contractors line up with their high-tech designs, betting millions for their chance to enforce borders. Now imagine this, a father in El Paso, this skilled craftsman installing ceramic tiles in a new youth center. From its third-floor bay windows, he can see straight through to Mexico and telephones his son to come to the other side. There is Julito waving, cell phone in hand. But I cannot see you, pero papá, no te puedo ver. Up the stairs to the center's roof, the father sprints, hoping for a better view, and to be seen by the son he has not laid hands on or embraced in 8 long years.